Hi guys. Hi everyone. How is everyone doing here? Nice to meet everyone here. So yeah. So let us just start with the basics of Excel. Okay. So how many of you guys are already accustomed to Excel? Everyone can uh just put in chats their own thoughts. Okay. So how many of you already are accustomed to Excel or know what Excel is? Yes. So anyone very new to Excel who have never used Excel here? Just say yes in the comment box. How many of you people are new to Excel's? Just say yes. And how many of you people have already used Excel or know Excel? Just say no in the comment box. Yes. Okay. Okay. So no worries, guys. So let's just start with the basics of Excel. See, first thing we need to know before learning Excel is what is Excel and why do we use it? Okay, why is it widely used by so many companies around the world? And even a small firm also uses Excel. Even we personally, even me, if I have to maintain certain things, I maintain in Excel. Why everyone is using Excel in such a prominent way? Okay, so the first thing is, see, Excel is very easy to learn and very easy to use. Okay, so since it is very easy to learn and easy to use, uh, see, what happens is we can easily, if I just teach you one small trick in Excel, you can just learn within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's not like other tools where you have to sit and learn for hours together or days together. So that is one of the biggest advantage of Excel. And also you need to know Excel is also a data analysis tool. Many of us think that it is a storage tool where we store information. No, Excel is mainly for analysis and data calculations and manipulating the data, data transformations and all those things. Okay. So let us just go to the basics of Excel first. So this one particular window which is shown on the screen is actually called as an Excel workbook. Okay. So certain terminologies we need to actually remember. So because as we progress forward in the course or through the Excel tools, we will be requiring those keywords to actually perform certain things in the tools. Okay. So just need to remember this. See, this whole window is actually called as an Excel file also, but it is also called as an Excel workbook. Okay. Over and above that, if you see there are certain tabs here, these tabs are actually called as ribbons in Excel. Okay. So these ribbons are prominent along all the Microsoft Office suite applications like PowerPoint, Word, Outlook. Everywhere you will have these ribbons. Only thing is the ribbons, the tools inside these ribbons will be separate to that particular application. Okay. So we have many tools in each and every tab here, in each and every ribbon here. Okay. So and over and above that, before going forward, see, many of you might not know what is the basic format of Excel. Okay, Excel file. So, since I just need to show you guys, see, if I'm just saving an Excel file here, the basic format of an Excel file is always in .xlsx. Okay, .xlsx is always the basic format of an Excel file. Any Excel file you create, any new Excel file you create, by default, it will be created into an .xlsx file. Okay. Over and above that, there are many other formats of Excel files which are there, XLSM, XLSB, and .xlsx, XLS, which is no longer used other than in the older versions of Excel. Okay. Over and above that, we'll just go through each and everything in this particular interface. So this one particular bar which you are seeing here, which is shown as an auto save, where auto save button is there. So this bar is actually called as an quick access toolbar. Okay. Why it is called as an quick access toolbar is, see, when we are installing a new app in our phone, To create a shortcut, what do? We actually put a shortcut in the home screen, correct? In the same way, if we are using a tool in Excel repeatedly or again and again, what we can do is we can go to that particular tool, any of the tool, okay, any of the tool that I'm using repeatedly. For example, I each and every time come to this data tab, use this data validation tool here, okay? So I'll just right click on this and add this to the quick access toolbar so that a shortcut of this particular tool will be created in this particular toolbar, and I can frequently use it just by clicking here rather than each and every time navigating to the data tab and just going here. Okay. And over and above that, see, this is actually called as a name box. Why this is called as a name box is, see, it actually defines or shows the name of the cell which I have kept my cursor on. And what is a cursor? A cursor is nothing but this box which is being appearing when I'm clicking on any cell. Okay. This whole sheet is divided into cells. Since I have hidden grid view here, you are not able to see. But if you see here, the whole sheet is divided into cells. Okay. So wherever I keep my cursor, this highlight of this one cell, this particular name box will show the name of that particular cell. And over and above that, the name box has many other various functions. One of the function is, if suppose I want to go to the 21,000 row in this particular file. Okay, I shouldn't go on keep on scrolling in this file like this until I reach that particular row which I want or cell which I want. So what I'll do is I'll just directly type C 21,000 here so that I can directly reach to that particular cell wherever I want. And just to come up now, what I can do is I can just press Control and up instead of again scrolling, so that Control and direct point where the next data is found. Okay, this is the shortcut, first shortcut that we learn in Excel. And always, all the shortcuts are very important in Excel, so we need to remember all the shortcuts. Over and above that, what we can do here is, if you see, there is a formula bar here. So this is actually called as a formula bar because we can edit formulas much more in an easier way in this particular bar. Okay. So when we are editing formulas, we can use this particular bar. I'm not saying we cannot edit formulas in the cell. We can just edit it much more in an easier way in this particular formula bar. Okay. And in Excel, obviously, you guys might be knowing these are columns A, B, C, D. All the alphabets are columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4 are rows. Okay. So each and every cell. Okay. What is a cell in Excel? A cell is an intersection of a column and row. Okay. A cell is a main forming part of anything in Excel. Okay. In Excel, whatever we do it on a cell. Otherwise, it will not, like, without cells, we'll not be able to do anything in Excel. Okay. So a cell is nothing but an intersection of a row and a column. Okay. So if I have to show you show you, I can just show you through focus cell. So a cell is an intersection of column and row. Okay. Over and above that, see what can a cell do. First thing, we'll see how many rows are there in Excel and how many columns are there in Excel. Okay. So just can anyone just type in comment box how many rows do you think are there in Excel? If I keep on scrolling like this in the whole Excel file, will I reach any particular limit or is it unlimited number of rows in Excel? Anyone can reply. Please do reply in the comment box. How many how many rows can be there in Excel? If I keep on scrolling, is it unlimited or is it limited? Anyone? Okay. So see, there are limited number of rows in Excel. First thing we'll know what is the number of rows. We have 10,48,576 rows in Excel. Okay, so nearly 10 lakh rows are here, round of 10,48,576 rows. In the same way, we have 16,384 columns in one particular Excel sheet. Okay, an Excel sheet is nothing but each and every tab here, which I am clicking at the bottom here, home, key, basic sheets in an Excel file. Okay, if I want, I can create more sheets just by adding this particular add button. Now, In each and every cell, we just saw, just by basic mathematics, we just saw that there were 10,48,576 rows and 16,384 columns. So just by multiplying these two, we can have number of cells that are there in one particular Excel sheet, correct? So in one particular Excel sheet, we have how many cells are there? What is this number? Can anyone just read it out in words in the chat box? Please do read it out. What is this number? Is it 17 crores or is it 117 crores, 171 crores, or what is this? Yes, exactly, Srinivas. It is limited. So it is limited to 10,48,476 crores. So whatever number we're seeing here on this particular Excel sheet, Excel cell, so there are 17 billion cells in one particular Excel sheet. Okay, there are 17 billion cells in one particular Excel sheet. Just by a basic mathematics, I found out how many number of cells are there in one particular Excel sheet. Okay, so these are the very basics that we need to know about Excel. Okay, what about this? We need to know what are the types of data that can be typed into an Excel cell. Okay, so an Excel cell can hold any type of data. Actually saying it can hold any type of data. See, what does data type mean is a text is a type of data, a number is a type of data. Why it is a type of data is, see, each and every data is handled differently by Excel. Okay, each and every data is handled differently by Excel. So first thing, can anyone just type in the comment box what is the difference that you're seeing between this data and this data? The one that I have selected, these two datas, what is the basic difference between these two? What is the basic difference between these two data? Yes, anyone? Yes. So, see, what is the basic difference between these two data that is typed into the cells? This is a text and this is a number, obviously, because I have already mentioned it here. But over and above that, there is a visual difference in this particular cell here. So here, if you see, the text is aligned to the left and number is aligned to the right. Okay. Many of you, like if you go to training for in many institutes, they might not tell you this particular basic, but this particular basic is a very, very crucial basic because over and above this only the Excel will understand the data. Okay. So by default, if the data is being aligned to the left here, it means Excel is identifying it as a text, or whatever is being aligned to the left, that means Excel doesn't understand it. It doesn't mean that we can't perform things on it, but it is saying that I'm not able to understand it. And whatever data is by default aligned to the right, it is actually saying that Excel is understanding the data. Why Excel has to understand the data and why it has to not understand the data is, see, if Excel is understanding the data, it will perform certain basic calculations or basic uh, calculations on certain things for us. Okay. For example, if I'm selecting these two numbers, which Excel is already understanding, if you see here in this particular status bar at the bottom, certain basic calculations are already performed for me in Excel itself. Okay. Average, count, sum, and everything. So in the same way, if Excel, our first goal is to make Excel understand the data. That is our first main goal. That is to make Excel understand the data. And over and above that, there are special types of data in Excel. For example, if we start anything with an equal to or a plus or a minus, it is actually identified as a formula in Excel. Even though I type anything here, it will be identified as a formula in Excel. And first thing what we need to know is what is a formula in Excel? A formula is nothing but it performs certain calculations for us and it does certain things for us in Excel. Okay. So whenever you're writing a formula, we have to always start a formula with an equal to. Okay. Over and above that, I can just start typing the formula. For example, if I am typing a VLOOKUP formula, as many of us might be knowing a VLOOKUP formula, it's a very famous formula and it has been used by everyone for decades. Okay. So here we can see a formula helper is being shown over and above me typing it. So when a formula helper is showing, I can just select the formula just by pressing tab, and it is also showing what the formula can do in Excel. Okay. So any formula should start with an equal to, and we can use the help of a formula helper here, the list where we can actually select the formulas just by navigating through my keyboard. And you can also see what a basic form, what any formula does in a very short form. A small guide will be given. Okay. Over and above that, yes. So this was a very basic introduction to Excel. At least by now you guys might be understanding everything in Excel revolves around a cell. Okay. Everything in Excel, even though if we are doing automation through macros, even though we are doing anything in Excel, it will always revolve around a cell in Excel. Okay. So we just need to know all these basic things. Uh, does anyone have any doubts over and about this? You can just type in the chat box. You can ask me. Exactly, Gokul. See, number is in right and text is in left. Why do we have number in right and text in left? As I just explained, see, number is something that is identified or understood by Excel. If Excel is not identifying or understanding something, it will automatically align it to the left. Exactly, Gokul. Yeah. So, see, we have now seen the basics in Excel today. Tomorrow, what we will be doing is we'll be diving deep into what is a pivot table in Excel. See, since pivot tables are a very crucial elements in Excel, always we use it to actually create reports and create summaries. So we'll be seeing in detail what is a pivot table, how to use it, and all those things. Oh, thank you, Srinivas. There is, okay, you don't have any doubts. It's actually a good thing. Anyone having any doubts can always ask me in a live chat, not an issue. So, yeah. So what we can do is, over and above this, uh, I'll just show you a content which I am actually working on. Okay. So if you see, I have prepared a full-fledged resources for the full advanced Excel sessions. So whoever want to purchase it can actually purchase it. I'll send you the links and QR and later on the other details how to purchase it. So what we have here is we have certain expert manuals which will guide us on all the topics in Excel. These are basically PPTs, case scenario-based PPTs and how to guide. And over and above that, we have professional resources. This on this only we will be practicing. I'll be taking the training in Excel based on these files. So if you want to practice with me or if you want to go to home and practice with me, you can always go ahead and purchase this particular drive. I'll be providing you the drive link, access to the drive link, which you will have when you will have all these things for the full lifetime. So we will be covering all these topics in the full advanced Excel session over and above which you can just practice on this. These are the files that I'll be actually working on. You can also practice along with me. Okay. Over and above that, there are very, like various workshops which are curated for each and every topic. So these workshops are very, very specific and help you actually practice in Excel. So you can just see these all are workable Excel files. Okay. And over and above that, we have certain tutorial files also. If we are actually new to some topic, what we can do is we can actually open these tutorial interactive files and we can just directly and lively learn on these files. Okay. So these files are very interactive Excel files which we can work on and we can learn Excel also from. Over and above the guidance, we can directly work in the Excel files. I'll just show you one for sample. So this is, yeah, So this is an interactive tutorial file. We can just actually download it. And if you see there are topic-wise sheets that are divided into topics. Now, this is actually an interactive file, as I mentioned before. You can just go and interact with the file. For each and every topic, a detailed explanation is there, how to do is there, and we can actually perform task itself here and learn what to do. For example, for adding a sum formula, for see, for very basic and for very beginners, what we will do is we'll not be able to know what not to do. So these are very, very interactive files that will be helpful for everyone so that you can just go ahead and use these files to learn Excel also over and above me training you. And if you see in the drive, we have some other resources also. We have the shortcut guide. We have a list shortcut guide where for each and every kind of shortcut we have listed here, which are very, very useful in your any of your job. If you know all these shortcuts and if you're very versatile with the shortcuts, you will crack any interview very easily and you'll be able to handle your job very easily and your work will become much more easier. Okay. All the essential shortcut guides are here. So this is the drive that we will be providing for the train, but it's not free of cost. See, the live session is free of cost, but we will be providing you certain resources which you can just pay separately or just purchase a bundle at a very, very minimal cost. Actually saying these resources are very, very valuable resources. So please do try to purchase these resources going forward so that you can practice on these resources. Okay. Yeah. So thank you guys. That's it for today's live session. Let's meet tomorrow. If you guys have no doubts, we'll just disconnect now so that we can just meet tomorrow and continue with the next topic. That is, our next topic is pivot table.